What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Wolfpack Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Clevens. Here with me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Mike and Ike. What's up, fellas? It was almost a flawless intro, and then I messed up Ike's name.
Yeah, you definitely failed.
Yep. No, I want some
candy. Good.
How you guys doing on this beautiful frozen tundra of a Wisconsin night with it being 20 degrees? But hey, at least we don't have 54 inches of snow already. You know, like
that looked brutal.
Buffalo has. Oh my God, what a nightmare that is over there, man, right now.
Good thing for fantasy purposes, they moved it to Detroit.
But I saw Von Miller still there. Did they not go yet? How are they supposed to leave with all the snow? That's the part I don't understand.
Take snowmobiles.
Yeah, I don't get it, but I'm sure it's the NFL.
They might have to postpone the game.
They'll figure it out.
How you gotta fly out right now with?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand, man. But hey, guys, we got a question to start off the show, so why not just do an icebreaker here? Should I trade Tyler Lockett for Mike Evans? I would say so. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Mike, are you baffled? What are you thinking here? He's frozen. All right, Ike. What you think you should do it as well?
I do. I
think said
Mike
yeah.
Evans
Can you hear me?
Tyler.
No, you're lagging really bad. But yeah, I agree. Mike Evans for sure. Rest of the season over Tyler Lockett. I'm all right with it both ways, but I would definitely rather have Mike Evans rest of the season. But yeah,
I hope the technology gods allow me to talk now.
Yeah, now you're good. Go ahead.
But it's you do the trade.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, but
we waited that long.
We got week 11 game previews coming your way, guys. Before we jump into it, though, I just want to remind you, please smash the like button. Please subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. We appreciate it. And head on over to fantasysixpack.net/plans and check out our memberships over there so you can get access to our award-winning rankings, the Discord, all that stuff, guys. It's a good deal the rest of the season. So go ahead, jump in there. It's a lot of fun. But let's just jump right into it, guys. We got 4 teams on a bye this week: the Jaguars, Dolphins, Seahawks, and Buccaneers. And the first game we got to talk about right now is the Chicago Bears at the Atlanta Falcons. Ike, this Bears offense coming alive the last few weeks, courtesy of Justin Fields out there doing his thing, mostly with his legs. Khalil Herbert was placed on IR, so that's disappointing. I'm curious, where do you have Montgomery with Herbert out in your rankings this week?
He is easily I would say, high-end RB2. I have him 14. Yeah, 14.
Wow, that's high, man.
Running backs are kind of bad this year. So since he's getting full workload for what, I guess, I mean, Fields going to take away a lot, but still, he's going to get a decent workload. So, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree. What's your thoughts on Justin Fields this week? Is he like a top 3 quarterback for you?
3 or 4.
Yeah, I believe it. Like, I was answering questions in Discord all week, and I was getting like a lot of like Joe Burrow or Justin Fields this week. So I'm kind of curious. Mike, maybe if you want to chime in here, where would you go between Burrow and Justin Fields this week?
I'd rather hot hand to Fields. He's got back-to-back QB1 finishes, and the week before that is a QB3 finish. He made me eat my words when I said he couldn't do it over and over again, get these 100-yard rushing games, but he's doing it. I mean, the only question here is, can Atlanta keep it enough of a game for him to need to rush for 100 yards? That's the question. But
Burrow hasn't been great either without Chase, so
that's the bingo. That's the thing right there. He has not been very good without Chase. He has actually not been targeting his receivers downfield as much without Chase, which has really been taking a hit on his fantasy value.
More Mixon.
So it's definitely I lean more Fields more currently.
And then, Mike, are you comfortable starting Cole Kmet this week as a top 10 tight end, and same with Mooney as a wide receiver 3?
Mooney, you can easily start as a wide receiver 3. That's pretty nice.
Right on.
You're playing Atlanta. Atlanta's bad.
Yeah, AJ Terrell I saw was questionable as well.
I think as LaPlante said, hopefully Atlanta actually makes it a game, or even hopefully Chicago makes it a game. So it's kind of like a high scoring, or there's a lot of fantasy points to be had. But yeah, I'd be starting Cole Kmet, Mooney, and Fields and Montgomery, which is weird to say.
There might be 75 rushing attempts between the two teams in this game. Between the quarterbacks and running backs, man.
It might be a very fast-paced game.
Yeah,
because of all the rushing.
It most likely will. But jumping over the Falcons side of things now, Mike, I want to ask you, man. CPAT came back, Cordero Patterson came back from injury, and he had a good week. Found the end zone once or twice. And then he comes back on a short week, gets like 5 touches. The week before, he got like 15-ish. I'm curious your thoughts here. Can you trust him in a good matchup this week against the Bears? Because all I could see in my head of what's going to happen is they're just going to keep doing a toss to him outside, and he's just going to chip away with 8 yards of rush, I feel like. But what are your thoughts?
The nice thing is you can run against the Bears. So this is a good matchup for him. It's probably the best matchup one of the best matchups you're gonna get for him. But I am still just a little worrisome after last week. But I still gotta play Patterson out of everybody in this group. It's not a very good group, guys. But Patterson, he's got the most snap percentage, 49.5. I mean, it's not much more than Tyler Algier at 42.3. The thing is he's not making his hay in the end zone and the targets like last year. I mean, this year, he has only 9 targets in the year, which is the same as Algier.
Jesus.
Yeah, and last week, like the whole thing was, like we said, red zone. Last week, Caleb Huntley got the 2 red zone rushing attempts, and Patterson got 1 red zone target. So he's really not the red zone guy. He's not the passing guy, and he's more of the early down guy, I guess, in a way. But when you look at what he had last week, he didn't even have the majority of the carries. It was Tyler Algier had 8 to his 5. So you still got to start him because of the matchup, I think. But man, it's not safe. He's flaming out just like he did last year.
Agreed.
I would not start Algier though.
No, you're not starting anybody
unless
else.
Deeper leagues, I would.
Yep. And, unfortunately, you're probably stuck starting Kyle Pitts, but Drake London may be wide receiver 3 after he showed some signs of life last week. But other than that, we can jump over to our next one. We got the Carolina Panthers at the Baltimore Ravens. Ike, we've seen Foreman produce really well in 3 of his starts. But the one game that they got absolutely smashed in by the Bengals, he didn't do a damn thing, obviously. Makes sense, right? And to me, this game has blowout potential written all over it. So it really scares me playing Deontay Foreman this week. Let's say you.
What say you?
I'm assuming they'll be down. And I'm assuming Chuba Hubbard's going to play, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so yeah, that just guarantees that Foreman's a risky play for sure.
Yeah, don't
forget about, because like you said, against the Bengals when they're down, he struggled. So and Hubbard's easily a 3rd down back.
Mm-hmm. Baltimore's coming off their bye week, I want to say, right? Yeah. So I feel
their defense looks better, man.
Yeah, and they're getting healthy. Hopefully they have Mark Andrews back. So yeah, Foreman scares me this week, and I would not be comfortable starting him, but you might have to with the way everything is. Right?
Running back is brutal right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's definitely not great.
Outside of your top tier running backs, it's not.
What up, Mr. Curly Wolf?
Love that name. What's up, man?
Mike, jumping over to the Ravens. Are we starting anyone besides Lamar in this offense? If obviously Mark Andrews, if he plays, you're starting him. But what are your thoughts on everybody else?
I think you can start Gus Edwards if he plays, but he's also questionable. Both him and Mark Andrews are questionable. You can start Gus Edwards, but when it comes to these receivers, you can't trust Duvernay. I'm sorry, you just can't. He doesn't get enough target volume. He doesn't see enough of the field with the snap percentage. 64.1%. That's 3% less than the fullback. This is what the offense does. They run the ball.
That's sweet.
That is funny that you just said that.
So, they run the ball. They don't pass the ball a whole lot. When they do, it's to Mark Andrews. And it was Bateman when he was there, but it wasn't even very much for him. So you can't trust any of the receiving options outside of Andrews. And you can start Gus Edwards. And I honestly think with how much they run, you can get away with starting Kenyon Drake in some PPR leagues.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Curly Wolf adding in that he's nervous about Foreman as well. He's playing him with ETN. He's starting him over J-Rob, Elijah Mitchell. Guys, that's a good idea, right? I would say, yeah, I'd still go Foreman over those two.
Yeah, J-Rob got the Patriots. That's not a good matchup. Elijah Mitchell did see majority of the carries here, but I think it was just kind of a hot hand thing. Kyle Shanahan's a weirdo with his running backs.
Didn't they say that they're going to split it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it, though. But it's weird. Kyle Shanahan says one thing, he does another. So I really don't trust the word that comes out of his damn mouth no more.
Fair enough.
And then, unfortunately, Matt, I feel like we're all going to say different things here. Well, obviously.
Probably
we
not.
can't say all different things, but I lean McKinnon rest of the season. I think
I say you got three options. It's Pacheco. I like McKinnon. He's good. He's serviceable with how many targets he's getting. He is serviceable, especially in a PPR league. But it's Pacheco over the rest of the way because I think Pacheco gets worked more into the passing game because he ain't getting jack stiddly squat when it comes to the passing game. And I think he will eventually get worked into it.
I just think McKinnon just gets all of the high value touches, guys. That's why I lean him. He's getting the red zone touches, like you said, Mike. He's involved in the passing game. What more do you want? Pacheco just seems like the early down grinder to me, and the back that they're going to use to grind it out when they're leading. That's what worries me.
Last week, I got two things to say. First of all, here's the stats. McKinnon last week, he got 1 target in the red zone, no carries. All right, Pacheco got 2 carries in the red zone. I'm going to tell you right now, I witnessed this one. He had a carry in the red zone. He fumbled the ball, and the next drive, he was right back in. That doesn't happen with rookie running backs. That tells me that Andy Reid has trusted him, and he's going to actually eventually work him more into it. And I don't think he believes McKinnon or CEH is the solution.
Fun fact, Kareem Hunt fumbled on one of his first snaps, and Andy Reid brought him right back in. So that goes to show he trusts Pacheco, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, to an extent.
Yes,
as long as he don't continue to fumble.
Yeah. All right. I'm still sticking with McKinnon. But our next game, guys, we got Cleveland Browns at the Buffalo.
The one who dubbed him Dead Legs McKinnon is taking McKinnon. But move on.
We got the Cleveland Browns at the Buffalo Bills at Detroit. This game got moved to Ford Field, guys. If you didn't get the memo,
if they can make it
with the 6 feet inches of snow, or the 6 feet of inches, or wow!
Hey, spit out, man.
6 feet of snow in Buffalo. Yes, there we go. But talking about the Browns here, man, we already know what's going on with this offense pretty much. But I never would have thought that this would honestly be a question. Who do you like better rest of the season, Amari Cooper or DPJ? Or is this not even a question for you?
Honestly, I kind of like both with Deshaun Watson coming back in.
Good answer.
2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think that was the right answer. Good job.
Week 13 against Houston.
But if I had to pick, I'm still going to Amari Cooper. He's the more talented receiver. That's all I got. That's really all I got right now.
Yeah.
It's really all I got.
People Jones is playing well.
Mm-hmm.
I get you that. But, man, he's not Amari Cooper. He wasn't a first-round pick. He's not from Alabama. He doesn't have the previous cachet. I don't know. I don't see it. I'm going to Amari.
He's just been Donovan Peoples-Jones has been real safe so far this year. I remember talking with Joe last night. He scored double-digit points, half PPR in the past 4 games, and he's done that on 5, 6, 4, and 9 targets. All right. Now, overall in the total year, this is skewed. Target share is a skewed statistic, but overall, Amari Cooper has the mass majority, 25%, compared to 19.9 for Donovan. Let's just call it 20. But the past 3 games has really been where DPJ's made his hay. Because
I was going to say, Amari's past 3 have not been great.
Yep, 24.1% for Donovan Peoples, and then Amari Cooper's only had 18.5. So I think this is one of those things where it's a regression to the mean. Peoples-Jones, he didn't get many targets. It was Amari Cooper in the beginning. Njoku's kind of, he's banged up right now. He hasn't been playing. So I think when Njoku comes back, possibly this week, that's really when you're going to see DPJ probably take a small hit.
Yeah.
You got to say, you're going to want a lot of this offense when Deshaun comes back.
Maybe,
probably.
Unless
I am a little skeptical.
Let's wait and see.
He's going to be rusty. He's going to be
got
rusty.
2 years of rust on him, pretty much. That's what worries me. And when he did
I'd
play
like
the
to think
preseason, he looked
practicing.
like an ass. He can't practice with the team. He just returned to practice this week. Yeah.
But
he hasn't
I'd
been
like
able to
think
practice at all.
This whole time he was in like his backyard, I'd hope, throwing
the football through a tire and stuff.
All Jack Dilford style from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, yep. But jumping over to the Bills side of things, man, we know who we're starting here. You're starting Josh Allen. You're starting Stephon Diggs. You're starting Gabe Davis, even though Ike hates him. But my question to you, LaPlante, is this backfield, they traded for Nyheim Hines. They're using James Cook. I think he might have gotten the end zone last week. No, I don't think he did. He got stopped at the one.
Cook
Devin Singletary found the end zone a couple times.
It was his brother, Dalvin, that saw the end zone.
I'm curious your thoughts on if Devin Singletary has a strong hold on this backfield, or are you thinking, Nyheim Hines, James Cook are going to be worked in more as the season goes on?
Earlier we said when they played the Dolphins and they first got their loss, this is the first time we really got our big dose of Devin Singletary being the main source or running back in this offense. And we thought the Buffalo Bills were just going to run away with this to the Super Bowl, and they're not, which really then forces them to use Singletary more because they want to get Cook involved more, and they have. They've been easing him into it, but not as much as they want to because they haven't had these blowouts to where they can get him more carries. So they've been forced to use Singletary. So as of right now, until they get to their ways where they're smashing teams again, they're going to have Devin Singletary is going to have the stronghold on this offense. I mean,
will they be smashing teams though? I mean,
that's the thing.
Josh Allen's arm is elbow is a little more messed up than they're saying.
I'd like to think their defense will get a little healthier. Tre'Davious White will come back. Jordan Poyer will come back. Mike, go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say, because majority of the thing here is, it's who you get the high value touches to. Devin Singletary is getting the targets. There was only 3 targets last week to running backs. 2 of them to Singletary. 1 was Nyheim Hines. All right. And then you look at the red zone. Devin Singletary got 5 red zone carries and 1 target compared to James Cook's and Duke Johnson's combined 3.
Yeah.
So it's his. It's his until James Cook decides to burst onto the scene, or if the Bills decide to start running away with games. But if they're, in these contested fights, it's Singletary all day.
Agreed. It seems to be, like I've said this numerous times, he's the guy they trust in that backfield.
And it's a great matchup this week against the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, it is. What's up, Swavey? And then he's got a question. Let's make it quick, guys. Fields or Lamar rest of the season? This one's close. And I'm going to say Justin Fields, actually.
Yeah, I agree. It's slight Justin Fields here, and my reasoning is the defenses. All right. Baltimore's defense has been a lot better lately since they traded for Roquan Smith, believe it or not. But Lamar doesn't have to do as much. Plus, he doesn't have the receivers. I mean, Fields don't either, but Lamar actually doesn't have to run for it as much as Fields does. Right. I just think Fields has to do more than Lamar has to do. So I think
it's really close, though.
Yeah, it is close. Really close. Yep.
Absolutely, but it's a slight edge. Gun to my head, it's Fields.
And then we got from Tommy, what's up, man? Pat Freiermuth. I don't know why I said it like that. Or Tyler Higbee. I'm gonna go Freiermuth here. Muth man.
I'm gonna go Higbee.
Yeah,
it's Higbee.
Bro, 20 targets just got opened up for Cooper Kupp leaving. The fuck?
It's Higbee.
Get in the van.
So Van's gonna get 10.
I know you're upset. You lost that bet to me with Darrell Henderson and Pat Freiermuth, but it's still the other guy.
Higbee. I would bet fucking $100 on it.
The Pittsburgh offense is just abysmal.
Let's do our 6-pack bet of the week on that one.
No.
I'm not doing another bet until you guys pay up your bets.
Okay. Pick one. Tony, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. I'm gonna go Kadarius Toney there.
Same.
Man, that's your ceiling play. I still go DJ Moore.
There's no Juju, man.
They play the Ravens.
No Mecole Hardman.
Man. Yeah, but it's one game of Toney. And that touchdown he got, guys, he was 20 yards open. That was
we saw how big his package was last week, man. And just imagine how much more it's going to big. And think about how much another week it's going to grow.
I'm going Toney for sure. Don't get stuck in
Toney
DJ Moore.
Paris Campbell, Michael Carter, or Peoples Jones full PPR flex. This one's interesting to me. I'm torn with the full target. PPR. I'm torn between Paris Campbell and Peoples Jones here. But I think I slightly lean Paris Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Paris Campbell. Matchup's just slightly better for them. Although because they play
Agreed.
the Bills. The Browns are going to have to throw a lot, so there's a little bit more volume there. So I think Donovan Peoples-Jones is your safe play. Paris Campbell's definitely your ceiling play on that one.
You say they're going to have to throw a lot, but will they?
Yeah, they did it against Miami. What do you think
Fair.
Peoples-Jones was so involved?
Let's hope Fields makes it through the whole year, Gare.
Of course. Who the fuck says that?
Can't predict injuries, man.
But next game, we got the Washington Commanders at the Houston Texans. Like, this man has been dead. He's alive. He's dead. He's alive. Antonio Gibson. He's been a RB1 at one point this offseason. Then he drops all the way to RB3 because Brian Robinson's backfield. Brian Robinson gets shot. Antonio Gibson's an RB1. Robinson comes back. Antonio Gibson's an RB3. But now he seems to be the better back in this backfield. But I'm curious your thoughts on both of these guys as a whole in a really good matchup against the Houston Texans.
I would lean to starting Antonio Gibson more, but against the Texans, now is the best time to start Brian Robinson and hope he actually can be efficient. I wouldn't be surprised if he falls in the end zone twice. Mm-hmm. So I think you can start both in 10-team leagues, 12-team leagues, whatever you're in.
Yeah, both of these guys have high touchdown upside in this matchup for me, to be honest with you. Yeah, and I could totally see both of them finding the end zone and both being totally relevant. Mike, jumping over to the other side of things, I mean, the only set it and forget it guy in this offense for Houston is Dameon Pierce. But we've seen Nico Collins kind of emerge as the top-tier wide receiver with the Texans being really mad at Brandon Cooks after he was salty about not getting his trade. I'm curious your thoughts. Nico Collins, are we starting him this week? Are you trying to see a little bit more here? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think he's more starter worthy than Brandon Cooks at the moment because of the fact that Houston and him have a vendetta. But I mean, Brandon Cooks got stripped of his captain duty. Nico Collins last week played more of the snaps, approximately 14% more of the snaps than Brandon Cook. He got more of the targets. Nico White, if you're desperate like me and have to start him, he's worth a start because he's the number one guy there as of now. It's a small sample size, guys. So don't get high expectations. It's still Houston. They run the ball a lot.
Yep. Agreed with you there, Mike.
Whoops.
Got a couple questions here again. Just traded Najee and DPJ and got Amon-Ra St. Brown and Drake in full PPR. I feel great about it. Big W. I'm in on it, Jacob. I agree with you. I like that trade for you. So you got the best player in the trade. Najee's been disappointing this year. I don't love Drake, but like I said, you got the best player in the trade, so that's where I'm in on that.
I mean, trading's hard. It depends on who you had there as your backups to your RBs, because if you ain't got crap after Najee, I don't know if it's a great necessarily of a trade, but you are getting the best player like they said. So you do win the trade, but it depends on who you have.
At what cost?
Exactly. At what cost?
And we got Eagles or Redskins, D?
Eagles.
I'm going to have to pull up.
Sorry, not the Redskins, the Commanders. I apologize if I offended any Native Americans there.
That's all right. You offend me
where are you going? I'm going to go Eagles, I think, here. I get maybe Matt Ryan throwing a couple interceptions or something. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, I do go Eagles slightly. They're a little bit more safer than the Commanders. Commanders had one good week, guys. I do like the turnover potential with Davis Mills, but if they run the ball a lot, there's not a lot of turnover potential there if he doesn't throw it. Where I see the Colts needing to throw it against the Eagles. Eagles are going to want to, get back on track. So I do see more turnover potential there. It's the Eagles.
What are your guys' thoughts on giving up Lamar or Fields and Higgins for Tyreek Hill? I'd keep the other QB.
Give up.
I don't
Lamar
think so, man.
What?
He would trade Lamar and Higgins for Tyreek Hill, or he would trade Fields and Higgins for Tyreek Hill.
I'd rather have Tyreek Hill over a quarterback you're not going to play for the rest of the year and Higgins.
Yeah, that's close for me. I tend to
agree.
That is a
close one.
I guess Lamar did have his bye already. Fields got a week 14 bye. So yeah, you kind of.
I would lean trading Fields. I would lean trading.
Yeah,
Fields
I would try to trade
Fields.
Field. Yeah, I agree. I know I said I liked him rest of the season, but in this scenario, I think I would trade Fields and Higgins for Tyreek Hill
because of that bye. Yeah. Because otherwise, you are going to be trading away a week. Then that's the only downside.
Kamara and Jamal Williams have tough matchups. Elijah Mitchell, worth it to replace any of the two. I would stay with those two.
Yeah.
You still gotta go with Kamara and Jamal Williams. They get majority of the work here. We just saw it one time with Elijah Mitchell getting the work over CMC. I can't see that being consistent. I mean, I saw a weird ass stat. I mean, Kamara has 3 touchdowns on the year, all in one game. Those were his only touchdowns. So you're gonna have some regression to the mean with that.
Yep. And then just to follow up from Jacob, he has Eckler, Swift, and Cordero Patterson still. So he's fine.
Good trade. I mean, I'm a little sketched out with Swift and CPAT at your RB2, but you can make shift the RB2 position.
Yep, agreed. Next game, guys, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Indianapolis Colts. And Miles Sanders really disappointed last week, huh, Mike LaPlante?
You had to rub it in, you asshole.
I did a little bit. That was a little
I
bit
hope the fantasy god smites you down this week.
It already has, man. They ended my season with ending Cooper Kupp season, man. So it's all over. But
if you didn't know, Dylan beat me last week in the home. What do you do? All right, but yeah,
is Miles Sanders going to bounce back this week, Ike, against this Colts defense?
Colts do allow a decent amount of points to running backs, but it's mostly through pass catching. I think they allow the 3rd most catches to running backs. And I don't think Miles Sanders is the 3rd down back in this offense. I think it's more...
No, it's Ken Gainwell for sure.
Ken Gainwell. So yeah. I'm a little skeptical on Miles Sanders, but I still believe you got to start him, I think.
He's just really fucking touchdown dependent, and I hate it. He is. The nice thing is you would like to think after that Washington game, that's the first time they played down in the first half all year, guys. That's why Miles Sanders was making his haze, because in the second half they could just run the ball out, and that was what he was doing. Yeah. But if they're not up, Miles Sanders might not be as relevant until he gets worked into the passing game more.
Sure, agreed.
4th most, my bad. 4th most.
Jump into the Colts side of things,
yourself,
Mike. We see Jeff Saturday comes in, and the first thing he does is start Matt Ryan at quarterback. Cool. Good idea.
He got a W right there.
Hold on. What was that whole Sam Ehlinger thing then? What was Frank Reich's goal?
The thing I heard was that Irsay came down and he wanted to see Ehlinger, to be honest with you. Okay. That's what I heard. Gotcha. I could be wrong if it was just Frank Reich trying. I kind of thought maybe it was Frank Reich trying to save his job too, but yeah, it was weird. But
the dude all jacked up on oxycodones. Good idea.
Oh man, but Mike, I want to ask you.
He's in the upper. What is it? The upper echelon of echelons.
He's top tier.
Yep.
How much more of a ceiling do these weapons have in this Colts offense now with Matt Ryan at quarterback?
I mean, it's a little bit more. This offense is still kind of it was definitely more competent, though. But the thing is, against this matchup in the Eagles, it's going to be running the ball that's going to work the best for him. Jonathan Taylor's going to have to carry him. Michael Pittman, you still got to start him. I think in PPR leagues, you can get away with starting Paris Campbell because they're going to be down. They're going to need to pepper, the passing game as well. But it's desperation play this week for Paris Campbell for me. You can start Pittman, you start Jonathan Taylor, and that's about it. You're not starting a tight end or any secondary running back. You're not even starting Matt Ryan. Sorry, guys, unless it's super flex.
Yeah. Yep.
Even then, I'm like,
Yeah, agreed.
Andy Dalton or Matt Ryan?
Another quick question, guys. Start Higgins over Ayuk? Yes, you do.
Yeah, Ayuk's been hot, but you start Higgins without Chase.
Yep.
Yes.
Try to find a way to maybe get both in, man.
Thoughts on Elijah Moore? He's basically done, so I wouldn't worry about him.
I don't have many thoughts on him. Yeah.
Before the bye, Saleh came out and said they planned on using him more in the slot.
Prove it.
Take that as you will. All right, Corey Davis is out, so Denzel Mims and Elijah Moore are going to be worked in here, and it seems like last time that happened, Denzel Mims got majority of the work. So I'm not high on Elijah Moore at all.
No, but he should not be started.
Yep. He's questionably shouldn't even be rostered at this point.
No, he shouldn't.
No.
But New York next game, guys. New York Jets at the New England Patriots. Ike, let's talk about the backfield first. Michael Carter, he's not really wetting anybody's whistle, but with the way running backs are, how do you feel about him this week? Where do you have him ranked?
If you don't want to start any of them for one.
You got to start one of them, and it's Michael Carter. Come on.
But why? They're going to be down more than likely?
He's the passing back.
But he's not. When was the last time he did anything?
There's just a problem, Happy. You're not any good.
I mean, like we've been saying the whole podcast, running backs are so bad, it's almost like...
It's bad. No, don't get me wrong. It's
I
bad.
have him as running back 28, so that goes to show how bad
this is funny.
But that's borderline RB2, man. That's still not even there. So you're not starting him.
You shouldn't be putting him in the flex.
No, you shouldn't. I don't want him in the flex.
So the last
and you're not playing no more Najee.
I played George Pickens in the flex. I played George Pickens in the flex over him.
Yeah.
So the last time he played,
it
was last time he played the Patriots. He got 7 rushing attempts, which was majority of it.
Okay.
All right. And he also got 7 targets compared to 1 and 2 for Tyler Johnson and James Robinson.
That's nice.
That's why you can start him. It's PPR value only, though. Half PPR is
James Robinson finally, after bye, should get worked in the offense a little bit more. Should. Will he? I don't know.
You'd like to think.
They also said
either way, I don't want
him to be in the slot. So,
But Ike, what about Garrett Wilson? Does he continue his hot play in this against New England? I want to say
yes. He has Garrett Wilson everywhere.
I think he had a solid game last time they played.
So the only thing you can base it off was last time he played New England, he had 115 yards.
That's nice.
Did not score, but yeah.
So I would say, do you have him ranked as our wide receiver 3 then?
A wide receiver 2, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't help with the bye weeks. You got 2 wide receiver 1s out right now, and Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Plus, some guys might be injured, man. There's a very good possibility some of the top guys could be not playing. I know Hopkins was limited, and Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson's toes.
He was off injured.
He should be good, yeah.
Hopkins was the one that was limited, though. So
jumping over to the Patriots. Jumping over to the Patriots side of things, Mike. I'm just kind of going to let you go with what you feel. What do you want to talk about here? Jacoby Myers. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson's a stud. You're not starting Mac Jones. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about Jacoby Myers? What do you think?
I mean, really, there's 2 kind of set it and forget it guys from this line from this offense, and it's Ramondre Stevenson and it's Jacoby Myers. Tyquan Thornton's kind of getting worked in the offense a little bit more. Devontae Parker's just way too damn inconsistent, and the tight ends are just about as inconsistent. Yes. So it's Jacoby Myers, it's Ramondre Stevenson. I wish you could say more about it, but unfortunately, I mean, let's be grateful. It's not as bad as when Cam Newton had the offense when we couldn't start a damn soul.
Right.
So I mean, at least we got 2 people out of here that's fantasy relevant. So that's good enough for me.
And Mondre is just a stud.
Yeah, he is.
He's just a stud.
He's overtaken that job easily.
Yep, 100%. Before we jump into our next game, we got another one. Need to start 2 full PPR. Tony, Pittman, DJ Moore.
Pittman and Tony.
Yep. Played sweeping, Mike. Come on.
I still go Pittman and DJ Moore.
Oh.
I like Tony. Don't get me wrong, but I gotta say,
no, you don't.
That's my only. I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. He played 44% of the snaps last week. I want you to realize that was 1% more than Juju Smith-Schuster, and he got fucking hurt.
That's what I mean. Well, he's gonna see more now with Juju being hurt. Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying you got to see it before you just throw him into the lineup over people we know who's done it, like DJ Moore and Pittman.
Elijah Mitchell or Kareem Hunt this week? I'm gonna go Eli Mitchell.
That one sucks. I hate
it does suck.
That sucks. It does. But it's Elijah.
I don't want anything to do with Kareem Hunt.
At this point, Kareem Hunt's not doing very hot. It's Nick Chubb all day in that offense. Yep. So Elijah Mitchell.
Yep, agreed. Jumping over to the next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the New Orleans Saints. What just a gross game, fellas. Ike, this was the biggest storyline. Cooper Kupp going down on IR, might come back for the season, but I doubt it. He had surgery on a high ankle sprain.
No need to bring him back.
Yeah, agreed. This season's a lost season for the Rams. My question for you, who is the biggest benefactor with Cooper Kupp going down? Is it getting the Van Jefferson? Are we going to see the finally a breakout from Allen Robinson? I know you guys like Tyler Higbee for some reason. But what are your thoughts?
It's Matthew Stafford. It's Matthew Stafford that likes Tyler Higbee. It's not us. It's Matthew Stafford.
It's Matthew Pafford.
We're not out here throwing the ball to Tyler Higbee.
Obviously,
if I get it 20 yards to him.
Obviously, Higbee is going to be the biggest benefactor.
Why?
Because he's been the second target option this whole year.
Except for the last 3 or 4 weeks when he's been atrocious.
Last week, he just caught 8 of 8 targets in 2 weeks.
Who was the quarterback, Ike?
Fucking Walford or whatever his name is. I don't care.
What did he do the 3 previous weeks?
He had 6 targets still 2 weeks ago. It just sucks that Matthew Stafford can't throw the ball or can't.
Or because the offense is terrible. That's my point too. The offense is shit now.
It has to go to somebody.
It's been shit. It's been shit.
And Higbee runs the shortest routes.
But I hate to break it to you, he's not Cooper Kupp.
He still runs the shortest routes. I'm not saying he's going to be Cooper Kupp. He's going to get the most targets, though.
But
it's not like he's going to air it deep to Van Jefferson when he's going to get the time to do that.
It's not like Tyler Higbee. You're making it sound like Tyler Higbee's filling the Cooper Kupp role, and I don't see that being the case at all.
Nobody's filling the Cooper Kupp role.
He's going to get targets, most targets out of the team, though.
But you got to moneyball it. You got to aggregate it.
Yeah, I agree. But Allen Robinson's going to get a little more. Van Jefferson's going to get more.
Your problem here, though, is
Tyler Higbee's going to get more. Agreed.
Is your whole argument is based off of a 1-game sample size with James Wolford? We have plenty of other sample sizes with Stafford.
I wasn't using that at all.
Yes, you were. You said last week was the reason he had 8 targets because you said who was throwing him the ball. That was your argument. All right, that was 1-game sample size of Wolford. When we have 4-game sample sizes of here in the with Tyler Higbee, week 3 he got 10.1 fantasy points, only 4 targets, but he got 61 yards, caught all of them. Week 4 he got 14 targets, caught 10 of them, 17.3 fantasy points, and week fucking 2 had 7 for 9, and then week 5 had 7 for 10. So we have much more of a sample size with Stafford throwing him the ball than Wolford doing it the one time.
So you gave me 4 or 5 good games out of 9, man, in a bad
offense.
Okay,
and you gave me 1.
Sure, I understand.
So what do I trust more?
But I'm still arguing the fact that it's not just going to go to Higbee. Don't be stuck on my point of the Wofford thing. That was just something I threw in, man.
I'm just saying he's going to get the most targets, and he should be started.
I disagree. He is not going to lead the team in targets. I disagree.
It's not going to be Van Jefferson when he's going to get the time to throw.
I don't think it's going to be Van Jefferson either.
So who's going to be Ben Skowronek?
Why can't it be Allen Robinson or something?
Because he's been washed for 2 years
now. Targets. He doesn't get that volume.
We've been saying he's been washed on his podcast for 2 years. Every single one of us.
Until he's the guy. That's not true. I was in on Allen Robinson.
He was the guy last year. He was the guy last year. In the year before that.
Yeah,
he just wasn't the guy in this offense.
That, he was really good. Okay.
Allen Robinson. All right, let's put this in perspective. On the year, Allen Robinson has 47 targets. Ben Skowronek, 39. You're telling me Allen Robinson's going to lead the team in targets when he's barely outpacing Skowronek?
What's Tyler Higbee? He's ahead of both of those? Both of them?
All right. Yes. He's at 65.
Okay.
That's double digits. So, yes, Tyler Higbee is most likely going to be the one that leads the team in targets here. It may disperse out more to Van, Skowronek, and Allen Robinson, but it's probably going to be Higbee the primary target, unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we should like that. We want tight ends to get more targets.
Yeah, I just don't.
Trust me, I want Robinson to be as good as you want him to. But man, we have the last 2 years that show him, plus half of this year. So what is he going to do? Just get good after 2.5 years?
Let's jump out of the Saints backfield because we're just banging our heads against the wall right now, man. Is it time for the Saints to go back to Jameis Winston? Because this offense just isn't really cooking and they're not winning games. What are your thoughts?
At least Dennis Allen says that Jameis Winston's not healthy enough to start. That's his excuse.
What was his injury?
I believe it was a shoulder injury. I want to say. I'd have to double check that. But that was what I saw. Dennis Allen, the reason why Jameis is not the starter yet is because he's not completely healthy. I'd like to think that when he is, they'd start him.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so too, but he's been active. So why, why would
That's
he
my
be...
thing. It sounds like the coaching is, I mean, let's be honest here. If you're a Saints fan, none of us are Saints fans, guys. You hate Dennis Allen right now. You hate him. I mean,
we knew it was going to be bad.
I don't think it's Jameis Winston's fault. I think it's Dennis Allen's fault at this point. For some reason, he just wants to go with Andy Dalton.
I got a question. Or no, is he on injured reserve or out for the year, Michael Thomas?
Yes, he's out for year, IR.
I was going to say, how quick does he come back when Jameis Winston comes back? Because there was some weird dude on Twitter who was like, as soon as Andy Dalton became quarterback, Michael Thomas just like suddenly hurt his toe or something.
I'm out.
Like
I'm out.
I'm done. I'm not playing with him.
You still on Olave or LaPlante? Sorry, with Dalton at quarterback still.
Yeah, you're on Olave this week. He's a top 15 wide receiver with the buys.
Yeah, he's top 10 in targets, I believe. I'm pretty sure last I looked.
Yeah, he's got a lot of targets. It's just their targets from Andy Dalton.
Touche.
We got the next game. We got the Detroit Lions at the New York Giants. I'm going to ask this question every week until something changes. DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams? And Vance, we appreciate
for the first time in a while. Swift went through the whole week without being injured, right, LaPlante? Like literally, there was no questionable.
And it was very upsetting.
Nothing.
It was very upsetting.
And Jamal Williams actually was the one with the questionable or whatever designation. So this might be the week we see DeAndre Swift get majority of the work.
Oh, you want to fall on that? You want to fall on that?
I'm going to fall on the trap. I'm picking Swift.
That was me last week. Go ahead, my friend.
I'm picking Swift. I'm falling in the trap. He's healthy, man. He's ready for it. It's another week of full health.
It's a trap.
He was healthy last week. He had a prime.
Even though he hasn't had double-digit targets in fucking 5 weeks, probably.
Yeah,
man, I saw a play of him
saved by that touchdown last week.
I saw a run by him.
Was he saved? He only had like 8 points.
Salvage. It was
salvage. That's a better word to say for sure.
I definitely saw a video somebody posted on Twitter of a run of his. He had a wide open hole, and for some reason he chose to run into the lineman's back. Yeah. I don't know if he's coming into one of those or.
I love when that happens. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. It was wild.
Give me Williams, man. Give me Williams. But Mike, jumping over the Giants side of things, who we start in this offense, and say Darius Slayton, please, besides Saquon Barkley.
Don't say him. Because he's on my team. I'm going to have to think about it now.
Think about it,
They don't pass enough, guys, to really feel comfortable starting any pass catcher. I mean, yeah, Slayton had a good day last week.
It's actually been decent the past few.
Well, he got the touchdown, that's why. But without that touchdown, he had just as bad as a day as DeAndre Swift. But he only got four targets, guys. I mean, he's got here's the skewed statistic. Last 3 games, he's got a 20.8% target share, but last game was only 4 targets. So, I mean, that's how little they throw it. You can't, if you're desperation time in the flex, throw Darius Slayton in there, go for it. Fuck it, Ike. I mean, desperation times they call for.
If you want to just be a dick and just screw with your team or who your opponent is, go for it.
But if you want to rely on being safe and whatnot, you only can start Barkley.
Sure. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Ugh. Can we expect anything outside of Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams if he plays? Because he was a late add to the injury report as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like, is Matt Collins going to show up? What do you think about Foster Moreau? What are your thoughts?
Anybody probably say Foster Moreau, and even though he was saved by a touchdown, Matt Collins got 6 targets, but he seems to not really catch the ball very well. Or Derek Carr is just not very accurate because Devontae Adams has a career low catch percentage right now. So either way, Derek Carr is not great, so you don't want to start anybody other than Devontae Adams.
Either way, out of all those stats, to sum it up, Derek Carr, you're a bum.
Yep, we're out. We're out.
I'm out.
Mike, Denver Broncos offense, they're doing their thing. They suck still. But is this the week with Jerry Jeudy hampered with injury?
I hate when you
Russell
use this terminology.
Russell Wilson, the last time he played the Raiders, finished as QB3 on the week.
Good
The
call.
only time he's finished as a QB1 all season
good
long.
Call. Good stat. You took that from me, but good call.
Does he do it again?
This is about the best week to do it. His only downside is he might not have Jerry Jeudy here. The Raiders have been struggling, but if they can somewhat see, here's the thing: Russell Wilson. The reason he finished his QB3 last time he played is because he got a rushing touchdown too. He had 200+ passing yards. He had 2 passing touchdowns, but he also got a rushing touchdown to really kind of make him a top 5 QB. If he doesn't get that rushing touchdown again, he's going to be top 10 because the Raiders are just a great team to play quarterbacks against, and it's the reason Ike owes me a 6-pack. All right, so you play your QBs against the Raiders unless your name is Sam Ehlinger. So good thing they didn't play him and they played Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan even did all right.
Yes, he did.
So I do think you play Russell Wilson. You play Sutton without Jeudy because there's really not many other options besides Daltrich. So this is a good week to play your Russell Wilson and your Cortland Suttons.
I'm glad I picked up Daltrich, man. He might have a decent game.
He might.
He could with the Jeudy injury.
Ryan was quarterback 5 on the Raiders last week, by the way.
Bam, 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 bam. The worst QB finish for the Raiders this year was Andy Dalton at QB 16, and it still won me a 6-pack against Ike.
Yeah. Raiders are Matt Ryan's best finish other than versus Jacksonville, where he's quarterback 2.
Oh, they've allowed the best finishes for every QB that's faced them pretty much, guys. I mean, except Andy Dalton for some reason.
Oh, no, Raiders, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only one is that Andy Dalton had a better game against the Cardinals than he did the Raiders for some reason. The NFL's weird. But you play your QBs against the Raiders.
Guys, Bulls update. They lose 108-107 to the Magic on a Jalen Suggs buzzer beater 3.
DeRozan did have 40.
Bulls fall to 6-10. 40. They're awful. But let's move on before I get fired up.
Illinois is losing too, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm sure you guys can see my eyes moving. 25-23, though. It's a kind of a barn burner here.
Talk about the commitment as a host.
Yeah, right. I'm still locked in here, kind of. We got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Like, we talked about this guy already, and I know what you're going to say. It's a layup for me. It's a layup for you. Hardman's out. Juju Smith-Schuster's, he was ruled out as well with the concussion. Who steps up in this Chiefs offense with those 2 out?
Tony, obviously. Deeps. Yeah. Don't be surprised if Pacheco actually kind of maybe does. Like you said, McKinnon's going to get more targets, obviously, with Juju out. Marquez, you can miss me with that.
It's hit or miss, man. He's the same guy he always has been, you know?
He's just a deep threat. He's not the greatest catcher of the ball, but don't be surprised if he gets a touchdown.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's hard to trust Tony so early, guys.
Oh,
everyone else
the way they're hyping him up is weird. Like Travis Kelce is saying, like, "Oh, how can they
talking about him on the podcast, on his podcast and stuff?" Yeah, agreed. And then
I think that just means Travis Kelce is going to have another 3-touchdown week.
Totally fair.
He could. We talked about the running backs earlier in this podcast, so we'll just leave that there. But Mike, jumping over to the Chargers side of things, what do we do with Herbert, man? He's been pretty disappointing. I know he might. I'm saying might. Who knows if Keenan Allen's going to play? If he feels anything, he's not going to play. Who knows if Mike Williams is going to play? I'm sure you feel a lot more comfortable if he has his weapons back. But what if he does not? Are you still willing to start him this week against the Chiefs?
Yeah, absolutely. Chiefs allow the 4th most points to QBs. So they don't really have a great pass defense as it is. Obviously, you want your guys Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in there, but I feel more prone that I actually think Keenan Allen will probably play this week over Mike Williams because Keenan Allen has had more time to rest. But getting either one of these guys is going to be beneficial to Herbert because with one of these guys, he has the potential to finish as that top five QB we know him as. Like, can you not slam that down?
I'm sorry.
But without these without these weapons, he still has a good enough matchup to make him top 10. He's still startable this week. Unlike last week where, most people, you probably took him out of your lineups because you played a bad matchup against the Niners. So without these receivers, he is matchup dependent. With the receivers, he's starter.
Yep. I think we missed this question, Vance. I apologize, man. Bad hosting by me. Flex, a wide receiver too.
That's because you're paying attention to the Illinois game.
No way. No way.
Vance, he don't hate you.
Dylan, you're going to say his name.
Hopefully you're still listening. Deontay Johnson, yuck. Michael Gallup, Darius Slayton, the Moon Man, or Mike Williams this week at the wide receiver. Oh, flex and wide receiver too. I'm going Mooney and I'm going Mike Williams if he plays. If he doesn't play, unfortunately, I have to say Deontay Johnson. Just don't expect him to finish any higher than wide receiver 23 because he hasn't done so all year.
He is due for a touchdown. I get it. It's Kenny Pickett. But the dude is expected to get a touchdown when he's like 88 targets deep without one.
81, yeah. It is a pretty absurd amount of targets without a touchdown.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I saw a stat, and I wish I could check it right now. But Derrick Henry has as many passing touchdowns on the year as Kenny Pickett. So that's really disturbing.
Awesome.
If Mike Williams plays, it's
Kenny Pickett only has 2. So if Derrick Henry has 2, then yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He got one of them last night. I'm pretty sure he had one earlier in the year. It's Mike Williams if he plays. Man, that really sucks. Because you got to look at it like Moon. I like your take on Mooney, but they still don't throw the ball enough. Justin Fields is doing all the work. They're only throwing the ball 28 times. So I think I still lean Deontay Johnson and Mike Williams. And if Mike Williams is out, then you put Mooney in.
Yeah, agreed. My God, do we think Murray will play?
No.
What's up, Bob?
Hi, Bob. I
do not think he will.
And I don't think you play him even if he plays with a hampered hamstring. Yeah, I'm out on that. And then also, do you think I should risk Andrews in tight end? That's a toss-up too, man. That's tough. That's tough to say. If you don't have a backup, that sucks.
If you got lucky and got snagged a Cole Kmet,
Isaiah
you
Likely.
you could probably get away with it. Yeah, probably Isaiah Likely would be the guy.
That'd be sweet. He's probably out there.
In case Andrews doesn't play, then you have the guy you can just flip flop right there. You don't have to worry about did this guy play or not.
Yep.
It's always nice hearing from you, Bob. Bob Dole.
Yes, sir. We got 3 games left, guys, and this might be the best game of the week. Possibly Dallas Cowboys at the Minnesota Vikings. Ike, it sounds like Zeke's going to play this week. I'm curious, how much does Pollard drop in your rankings with Zeke back?
Before I heard Zeke was back, I'm pretty sure I had Pollard right around running back 1 because he's been that since Zeke's been out.
Yeah.
But now I dropped him to about running back 20, which is where he's been, what Zeke has been in, except for the 1 week against Cincinnati where he's running back 2 or 3. I don't remember what one it was. With Zeke back, he's going to have to rely on the targets more so than the carries. And so, I don't know. I don't like him as much with Zeke backs. But you still should be starting him.
Yeah, I still like Pollard. It's just you got to temper expectations a little bit, and the ceiling is capped.
Don't be expecting 20 fantasy points unless he breaks one deep or loose or whatever.
That Bob did say he has Cole Kmet off the wire. I would honestly say I think you start Cole Kmet here and just wait and see if Andrews plays this week and then just plug him in your lineup next week if he's healthy.
You monitor it. If Andrews is healthy, I'm sorry, I hate to say this, you play Andrews over Kmet. You do it. Even if he is a little bit injured, you still do it.
They both play at noon. That's my mistake, right? The Ravens don't play a late game, obviously. Yeah, because we have the
Ravens play
noon. If they're both playing early, Bob, yeah, you'll know if Andrews is if Andrews plays, you're playing him.
Yeah.
If he's not, if
you go Kmet. They're both at noon.
Yeah, they both at the same time. Yeah, just if Andrews is played, you're playing him. But Mike, jumping over to the Viking side of things, we touched earlier that Justin Jefferson was on the injury report. Somebody said, one of you guys said that he might have got off the injury report with a toe injury. And I did hear on the radio this morning that the toe injury was kind of bothering him. So I'm curious, do you think Justin Jefferson has the big game here against Trayvon Diggs, or do you think it's going to go somewhere else?
Still Justin Jefferson. If Justin Jefferson plays, it's Justin Jefferson. If he doesn't play, which I do not see likely because he was taken off of the injury report as of today, it's Adam Thielen. It's Dalvin Cook that probably gets the biggest boost because if you're out Justin Jefferson, you're going to run the ball more. And you can actually run the ball against the Cowboys. You
definitely can run on the Cowboys. You're right, Mike. You're right.
So, I mean, Dalvin Cook might be the main priority here if Justin Jefferson is as banged up as everybody is overreacting it to be. I mean, I'm not a doctor. But if Justin Jefferson's in and he's not that bad, it's still Jefferson, it's Cook, and it's Hockenson for me. I mean, it is a good enough game to where I think Adam Thielen is appealing here as like a flex, maybe wide receiver 3, because this could be high scoring. But Adam Thielen, in my opinion, unless it's high scoring, doesn't have much appeal to me anymore.
Yeah, no,
because of Hockenson.
Yeah, Hockenson, he's taking a ton of targets away from him.
Yeah.
I really like
KJ Osborne's dead.
I'm loving my Hockenson sharing Scott Fishbowl
right Hockenson now. Is probably the DFS play at tight end, I would say, this week. But let's jump over to
too high priced.
We'll see. We
got
a quick question. We talked about this earlier, Mark.
Fields.
This might be this week. Oh, yeah, we would go Fields.
Yep. Atlanta's top 10 in allowing the most QB points. Carolina's 15th. So it's just a better matchup. Fields running the ball more.
Yep. Jumping into the Sunday night football game, guys. You got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think we kind of touched on it already. But how do you feel about Burrow in this matchup with the Steelers having TJ Watt and ideally Minkah Fitzpatrick back? I don't know if he'll be
TJ Watt might be back, huh?
TJ Watt played last week, so he is.
Oh,
back.
Shit. Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, he played last week.
I don't really pay attention to defense anymore, but that's cool to know. Last time he played Pittsburgh, even though he threw, 4 picks, he still ended up as quarterback. As a quarterback 9, I believe. But without Jamar Chase, he's been struggling. So I think he's a fringe-ish quarterback 1. Probably should be started in 12-team and 10-team leagues for sure, easily.
Yeah.
Pretty much most leagues, yeah.
Agreed. And you're starting Higgins, you're starting Mixon, you're starting Boyd. Mike, jumping over the Steelers now. I kept it simple for you here. You to answer me this week and rest of the season. Deontay Johnson or George Pickens? Let's hear it.
I'm gonna hopefully I'm not lagging here, but it's Deontay Johnson because I want you to hear it loud and clear. It's not Pickens. I like Pickens. I like him. He's gonna be great. Future dynasty, however you want to look at it. This year, it's Johnson. I mean, do I got to go over
You don't understand how much more targets he's getting, Dylan.
Yeah, do I got to go over the targets here? I mean, you want to talk about regression of the mean for Cole Kmet getting a touchdown? It's finally here. He got 5 touchdowns, however many, or however you want to look, 4 touchdowns in the past however many games.
You know what the
Deontay Johnson has 81 targets.
You know what the problem is with that comparison, though? It took Kmet a whole year and a half until he started catching the touchdowns.
True. Kmet, you know what I mean? Kmet ain't going to receive the amount of targets Deontay Johnson is, though.
Right, I think he saw 90-something last year without a touchdown.
Deontay's at 81 already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's averaging almost 9 targets a game. He can end up with 108 targets, no touchdowns.
Respectable.
Yeah, Mike, sorry, you're lagging really bad. So I'll take it over. Yeah, man, I agree to an extent, but I get it. The targets are there, but he hasn't showed anything. And I get it. He's 10th in expected fantasy points, but
that is the big thing you have to look out for. Because with all his work he's getting, he should be a wide receiver 10. So that means Obviously, the touchdowns won't be there because of Kenny Pickett.
I was going to say, the chemistry's not there. It's showing you over and over again. But with Pickett's outscoring Johnson, he's seeing the red zone touches.
At some point, he's going to start getting the touchdowns.
He hasn't finished as a top 20. He's finished as a top 24 receiver one time.
In full PPR, yes.
Yeah, in half PPR, he hasn't finished as a wide receiver too.
Which, when you said that earlier, surprised me because I could have swore with all the targets.
It's nuts. I get it. I get it. It's supposed to happen. The numbers are saying it's supposed to happen, but unfortunately, the eye test is showing you that it's not because Kenny Pickett likes George Pickett's better. I'm
not gonna lie.
That's
Deontay Johnson is the perfect buy low target right now. You might be able to get him pretty cheap, and he could explode, or he could just stay how he is.
You wanna talk to me?
We could hear you a little bit, Pal. You go ahead. No, sorry, you're struggling.
Just keep it rolling, though.
I disagree that it's terrible process because we see it from these guys. We see it from Pickens and Pickett together. We're not seeing anything with Johnson besides him seeing the targets. I get it. But yeah, let's move on to Monday night. San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals, guys. We thought probably at the beginning of the year this was going to be a good game, but now San Francisco just is probably going to run away with it. But after what we saw with how they ran the offense with Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey, pretty much splitting it down the middle, man. How do we feel about Elijah Mitchell this week and moving forward?
Borderline flex pretty much for the rest of the year. You'll never know when to play him.
Do we expect him to see double-digit carries every week? Because I just thought he was going to be gone. He was just going to be McCaffrey's handcuff. They gave up a second-round pick, a third-round pick, and whatever the hell else they gave up, man. It's like...
Clearly, they see playoff in sight, and they're keeping McCaffrey healthy. So I can see them working Elijah Mitchell and more, but you'll never know when to start him. You literally will never know when to start him. So to me, I don't want anything to do with that. Hopefully you could trade him for somebody, like if you have him.
And then what is your panic level on Debo here? You and I...
Glad I don't have him.
Yes, agreed. We liked Ayuk over Debo last week, and I said on the Sunday show that I like Ayuk over Debo rest of the season. Sorry, spicy a little bit.
Deal with it.
Yeah. Are you at a 10 with Debo?
Should be nearing red alert 9-10s because now that C-Mac is there and Elijah Mitchell is getting the carries, will Debo even get any? If he does, will it be very little? He was never the huge target hound, except for like maybe last year where it was like the 1 year or 2 years ago, whatever it was, when Ayuk was in the doghouse. Ayuk's finally back. He actually is showing what he is capable of. Good. He looks like the wide receiver one to me over Debo, and I think Ayuk is the guy you would want over it, to be honest.
Yep. Mike, I want to ask you your opinion, but I still see that you're lagging pretty bad over here. See, you want to?
I know he'll want Debo just because of the.
Yeah, I'd like to hear his thoughts on Debo. If you want to try and get him out,
I can hear you.
No.
Yeah, you're struggling, but so I'll kick his Cardinals questions over to you, Mike.
I don't understand.
Yeah, man. Sorry, we got to kick you out. But this Rondell Moore, man, I just squeaked out. Awesome.
I mean, I'm
puberty's a fantastic thing, guys. Rondell Moore, is this sustainable? What he's doing in this offense? Because he's been phenomenal the last few weeks.
The plan, if you can take this.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Ike, go ahead.
I mean, not if Kyler Murray's not starting.
What'd you say, Lil Putt?
I said not if Kyler Murray's not starting. I go ahead. I mean, I disagree. If
anyways,
the better play is Colt McCoy with him.
With Colt McCoy at the center, he still had 13 targets, 9 catches for 94 yards. So, I mean, he's again, Marquise Brown's going to be back, so you're not really sure how this offense is going to go. I see Marquise Brown as the deep threat, Rondale Moore as like the underneath guy, which Colt McCoy is kind of like his thing. So I don't mind Rondale Moore in the flex actually this week. 12-team leagues, start him instantly. 10-team leagues, it's a thinker.
Oh, no, I think you start him no matter what. I get it, Marquise Brown's there, man, but Rondale Moore's role is not going to change. He might see a little bit less targets, but him being
and
the
with
slot
Colt
receiver,
McCoy, man,
yeah, him being the
small
slot
depth of
receiver,
target, perfect for him.
Yeah, and that's what that offense likes. They call it an air raid, but they're never throwing the ball down the field. It's always these short, intermediate, sideways passes, man. So it's like
he's getting 6 to 7 yards per target these past 2 games, and that he's getting 23 targets and like 17 catches. So yeah, I like him.
He intrigues me. Yeah, he intrigues me quite a bit. But yeah, you're probably starting Marquise Brown. I guess that was a little bit tougher.
I'd wait.
Yeah, if it's Colt McCoy, I probably wouldn't start Marquise Brown because who knows how much chemistry they have together. LaPlante's gone. So guys, that was our last game. So that pretty much wraps it up. If you haven't already, please smash the like button before you leave. Please subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. We appreciate it. Head on over to fantasysixpack.net/plans. It's signed up over there as well, so you can talk to us all day long in the Discord if you want. You can follow me on Twitter at dclemens2222. You can catch my start sit article that comes out every Friday morning on the players to start and sit. Then you got Ike over here. He's at Ike2121 on Twitter. If Twitter survives another week, we had some Twitter nonsense last night. You can see all his work at fantasysixpack.net as well, doing the injury report. Sorry, I forgot the other article you do.
Drop list.
And the drop list.
Just don't read week 1.
And then you can find Michael Platt over at the Fantasy Six Pack. Why am I blanking on Joe's podcast name right now? The Fantasy Six Pack Hour. You'll see him, you'll see him over there producing that thing. Go on and check out that show. It's a good one as well. And then you could probably find us this weekend on the Sunday Social live stream answering your start sit questions here. Ike, hopefully you're coming on. And then we do have a couple questions here before we finish it out. Rest of the season, Kamara, Jonathan Taylor. That's JT for me. You guys agree?
Yep.
And then this week, start Demont or Tyler Boyd PPR must win week. That's David Montgomery for me in a really good matchup, Kyle. Montgomery for us. But for Ike and Mike, I'm Dylan. We'll see you guys Sunday.
Peace out.